Hi, this is Vinney Chopra. Thank you for again joining on my podcast, Apartment Syndication Made Easy. As you know, I wrote that book, which is a top seller in Amazon. Internationally also got a lot of acclaim, reviews and all. And this podcast is about syndication, about commercial investing. I like to bring great guests for you and dig into their story, their successes, and find out some nuggets from them so that you could really enjoy them and learn from them and then implement them. Hi guys, this is Vinney Chopra. Thank you so much for liking the content of podcast, my 2 shows now, live shows, which I do on Thursday, Abundance Mindset with Vinney Chopra and Gwalter. And also on Friday, I do 9:30 Vinney and Bo show every week, and we make it into podcast also. Today, I have a great guest with me, great friend who got me started in this business, to be truthful. Who I am today is because of oh my gosh, Mr. Eugene Trowbridge is in the house. We're going to hang around with him. He's actually the father or grandfather of syndication. To be truthful, I've always felt that. I've been to his seminars and just had so much fun attending. I know, Gene, you told me, you said, Vinney, come anytime. And that was fabulous. And you did so many syndication packets for me. So I'm going to give the stage to, Eugene, Trowbridge, Gene Trowbridge, we go by actually. And the cool part is he's got the book. It's a new business world, right? What's the name?
It's a whole new business.
Whole new business on Amazon, in paperback, of course, hardcover, and also in the audio. So I'm going to give stage to Eugene, my good friend Gene, to kind of talk about how he got into, where he is and impacting the world. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Vinney. It's always great to see you. You're always pretty exciting, and that's uplifting for me. So I do appreciate it. I guess I'm really not the father of syndication because, as you're going to find out in a minute, I was a syndicator for a long time, and other attorneys did my legal work for me. So maybe they were the fathers of syndication, but I'm getting down to it. So I may be the grandfather of this version of syndication. Who knows? But Vinney, my career is really been in 3 parts. When I came out of college, I went right to work as being a commercial real estate broker, learning about properties and leasing and analysis and all that stuff. And then after about 15 years of that, I moved to California and became a syndicator. And I spent 20 years as a syndicator. And just like you, I specialized in a product type. I built storage facilities, self-storage facilities throughout Southern California, with primarily my business. And I raised money through the broker-dealer community. I was lucky to get into the registered reps, and they raised the money for me, which was a whole different world. And then when 1995 came along, I kind of saw the writing on the wall, and I thought there would be a challenge for me if I didn't grow, if I didn't get to be a bigger company, which I didn't want to do. I'd always been a relatively small company guy and had done well. My last year I sent out 1,800 K1s representing 850 investors, Vinney. And I figured really what I saw in the marketplace is I was going to have to double my size and do offerings that were twice as big and all that. So I went home and sat at the kitchen table with my wife, where all the great decisions in life are made, and said, I quit. I think I'll go to law school, something I always wanted to do. And I had plenty of revenue going and investment income and properties that were going to take several years to mature. Sure. So I took 4 years and went to law school. And I thought that would be the end of my working career. For 15 years, I'd hit 60. And I'd retire. Well, I'm 75 today, and I'm still doing it.
Look at that.
Hashtag not retiring.
Not retired. I love that. You and I both, Gene, people call me. I retired about 2015. So that's 7 years back. But my wife says, Vinney, you are so occupied all day long. You're talking and having fun and all that. That's what it's all about, right, Gene?
Well, I think we did our first deal. If I'm not right, it would have been in the area of 2008.
Yep,
2008. And I think I probably remember where I met you and why you decided to hire me. I was a speaker somewhere and you saw me, and then that led me to all sorts of business relationships.
Totally. We have known
out
each
of my
other.
current partnership. So
for sure,
amazing.
I really am in debt with you and also your other partner.
Hi, you are listening to Syndication Made Easy podcast. We will be right back after this short break.
Hi, thank you so much. This is Eugene Chopra, and thank you for subscribing to my podcast and YouTube channel and Facebook pages and all the great things, and LinkedIn. Connect with me. I come live to you every Friday at 9:30 Pacific with Vinney and Bo Show. Please also look at that. And also the podcast, which is my apartment syndication made easy. The book I wrote a couple of years back became international top seller on Amazon International now. And then we like to bring great guests for you every week or twice a week sometime to give you a lot of great knowledge. So please subscribe. You give us 5-star reviews on the iTunes. The better the guests we can bring, and our ranking will go higher also. Thanks again for following us and really getting the most out of it. Please comment, like, share, because we would love to bring better and better material for you. I really am in debt with you and also your other partner, who...
Well, Kim, absolutely.
Kim
Kim is
Lisa
a great
Taylor.
partner of mine,
Yeah.
and I know she's done work with you just like I have. And
totally. Very nice.
Credit where credit's due, Vinney.
Yes. But we're going to talk today, guys, everybody listening to us in the car or while you're watching on the YouTube, we're going to talk about something really revolutionary happening in the syndication world, in the SEC rules, regulations and all, and that's exemption D with 506B and C combination. So we're going to talk about that from the man himself, and also we're going to talk about what there are lots of money raising going on the social media, everywhere, webinars. So we want you to really stay out of jail. So we're going to talk about those things also. And that's our goal today, is to really get into those two topics. So which one would you like to take first?
Well, let's just start with the punchline. The securities laws are criminal statutes.
Wow.
So let's stay within the boundary. As my wife would say, why would anyone have ever invested with a man whose last name was Madoff? And that's an example of someone in our career who did things wrong and went to jail. But let's start with the positive news first. We're going to talk about briefly in Regulation D, which is where you do private placements. Yep. And Vinney, the SEC's statistics that are just out for the last 12 months that they covered said that the private placement market, you're going to die when you hear this, it was $2 trillion.
Wow.
And it grew about $100 million each year during COVID. So, and that's the experience that my business had. And your business is growing too, even during COVID. So of the $2 trillion that's raised, about 95% of it, Vinney, is raised in what we call 506B. Uh-huh. And 506B just simply is where you know who your investors are.
Yes.
A term of art. Your investors are going to be people with whom you have a pre-existing relationship. Yeah. So when you bring your offering out, you know who your investors are going to be, and you're going to go to them and you're going to raise money from them. And so I said that the statistics are about 95% of the money that's raised is raised through 506B. Now, the reason for that, from what I understand and study, is the broker-dealer network raises most of the money in the country, not Vinney and not Gene's clients. It's the registrar's reps. And
Yes.
they have databases. They have a computerized database system.
Mhm.
And they do a lot of stuff over here to find people who want to be in their network and learn about investing and financial planning. And so when it's time to do an offering, they don't need to do any advertising. They already have all the investors.
Mhm.
So that's kind of interesting. And so the last 5% of money that's raised is raised in 506C,
Mm.
where we don't have pre-existing relationships. We can just go out and advertise and find people to invest with us. And once again, the majority of the money that's raised doesn't need advertising because their client base is already in their database. But people like Vinney and Gene and my clients, every once in a while, we do need to advertise. I don't know if you ever have, Vinney.
No,
but,
not much, not at all.
Okay. It might be someday, it might happen. You never know, because I know that you've done a lot of deals, and maybe someday you'll decide that you've gone to the well once too often with the investors that you have, and they're already fully invested. And in order to, or they're too old and they're not going to invest in another 10-year deal. I see that all the time.
Mhm.
And that's part of my investment strategy. Don't put me in something that it's going to be 8 years and then you're going to exchange, and my heirs have to figure out what to do with my money. I don't want that. So sometimes you might want to get some new clients. So the newest thing that you mentioned is that, can we really do an offering where in the same offering we raise money starting out from people with whom we have our pre-existing relationship?
Mhm.